car never did. Slash waist pretty petite. Who is she like, bae, it's me. French kiss make it say we. Got 'em all like we. Bad face car never did. Slash waist pretty petite. Who is she like, bae, it's me. French kiss make it say we. Got 'em all like we. Bad, she got double D's, plus like 1 or 2 degrees. Take me shopping overseas. Who can do it just like me? Coke bottle the physique, fashion model but a G. Got a spending green. He ain't sipping on no. Like who gon' tell me no? Keep me icy, make it snow. If he ain't tricking, gotta go. If that's your man and he my, you know I get what I want. Play the back, I'm in the front. I ain't mean, baby, I'm blunt, but it's sweet just like a blunt. Think they sippin' tea about who I'm with, but they ain't peep. Yeah, I make 'em all say we. He like, babe, let's make it we. I need a ring, I need a key. I need a diamond, make it bling. Told him get down on one knee. He know he gotta pay that fee. Fast car never did. Slash waist pretty petite. Who is she like, babe, it's me. French kiss make it say we. Got 'em all like we. Fast car never did. Slash waist pretty petite. Who is she like, bae, it's me. French kiss make it say we. Got 'em all like we.
Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Bitcoin getting back above 115,000, melting the shorts of the morning. Is it false move Monday or is this a continuation? Let's take a look at what's happening here for BTC. Shout out to everybody here on the live. BOOKMAP showing liquidity all the way up to 123,005, but there's a boatload down to 104. Who will get eaten? Let's take a look at the probabilities and find out today on the Crypto Lifer Show. God bless you all. Thank you for coming on in and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome. May God bless you. All right, let's break it down. Bring that music up just a tad. I like it. I like it. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening here for BTC. I'm looking at ASTER in this flag. Broke out of a flag, broke back inside. If Bitcoin can stay bullish, all these coins can kind of start to get back to some highs, maybe even crack this out. Very strange price action, but you can see it is in a bit of a channel. Bottom of the channel, back to the top of the channel for ASTER. I'm not back in it yet. I'm looking for a better position to swing trade ASTER. NEO looking very tight. Smaller cap market coin. Be very careful. But that thing's looking tight. I don't own any. I don't know anyone that's in it. I'm just seeing some price action for you guys. I'm nice to throw you a frisbee here and there. Let's take a look back at BTC, and we're going to do our top-down analysis for Bitcoin and show you what I see happening this morning. I talked about this being a shoulder, head right shoulder. I actually told my crew, it's very high risk, but we can front run the fact that this is going to be a head for the shoulder, head and right shoulder. And I ended up getting in right there with a stop below the 200 moving average. And I just took about $500 out of a swing trade. Took about an hour and a half for the trade to play out. I sold the top of that wick as it pumped, and then I began to work out. As I was working out, it actually started to pump a little more, but I stayed patient. And now we're kind of right here. So if you were in my trading group, I already gave a call. And you say, no, you didn't, Sam. You're full of it. How do you keep showing wins every single day you show up? It doesn't seem like that's possible. And I would say you're right. But consistency is king. And if you keep showing up every day, you will win more than most people do. And they will think it's not real because they don't understand consistency. They'll think it's, someone that doesn't understand consistency will see someone winning consistently and think there has to be voodoo. It has to be something else going on. It can't just be but it's not. It's really just perseverance and relentless natures that win every single time. I listened to Jim Rohn, one of my favorite mentors, and then what he taught me was you don't have to be, he's like, I know so many intelligent people, they're the smartest in their field, but they don't make the most. They're the best at their skill. They're so skilled, but I'd rather be relentless than intelligent and skilled, right? They say hard work beats talent if talent don't work hard. You could be the most talented guy in the room, but if you can't show up every single day, it does not matter. I will eat you alive, right? And that's the key. $530 on the win of the day, and if we could do that 4 or 5 times today, that's $2,500. We have a long day of trading. I could put in a trade tonight at 11 o'clock, could end up making one of my biggest gains of the day. You never know. Trading is long here in crypto. We have a 24-hour window here to make gains, so stress not, fear not. Keep your mind open to opportunity, and it will be there for the ones who believe. All right, so we're still inside the sideways price action, and to me, it looks like we may just continue sideways here. May not even be that bearish. We might kind of hang out right here and start to break out sooner than later for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the top-down analysis and go all the way from the monthly back down as we enter almost halfway through the month yet again, closing in on the 15th of October. So, indecision doji, as we talked about, right? That's not the best doji, but it's not the worst. What I like to say is just, hey, you have a previous resistance, which we have 3 candles above that held very nicely, about 108,000, 107.8, 108,000 there. So as long as we keep monthly candles above 108,000, we're really bullish. The second we close the monthly candle below 108, that's when you have to start saying we'll probably come test 102. Then you could start looking at 96, and then you're looking at 82,000. So the break below 108 could be the gateway for more pain. But until we break through that, for me, it's a pretty strong support system there on the bigger time frame. So that's your hopium copium for Bitcoin, and the fact that we might just be in this flag here. The monthly can consolidate in different ways. It's so chunky that you just need a few candles sideways here. So if this candle can close green, or and you never know, it could even become the biggest monthly candle close in history with just a little more of a move. But I'll take anything like this, and then if we could even come down the next month, we could be bearish in November, somewhat bullish in December, tight in January, and then start to break out. Bitcoin could break out in March. See, everyone thinking it has to pump in December and November, which would be beautiful. But it almost looks like we'd have to have a couple more months of consolidation after that insane move. So that's still on the board for me. And if you take the measured move and just kind of zoom out, and if you do this every day, this keeps you calm. because you're not focused on the tight price action every single 5 seconds. I mean, you could trade it. Look, I traded BXM. You traded the 5-minute today. I did. But with in mind what was happening on the bigger picture, I'm always building a bigger picture idea, and I'm planning for the future. 10 years ahead, where will Bitcoin be? Much higher. I firmly believe anything that I purchase now in BTC, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for me. You'd have to figure this out for yourself. But anything I purchase now for Bitcoin will take care of me years later on. And I'll probably be kicking myself for not buying more at 115,000, you know? So, you know, you want to look at the bigger picture. I always do. But it takes years to do that. Yeah, I've been trading for almost 20 years now. Since I was 22, I started buying and selling things. I had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't take it seriously till I was into my late 20s and I started playing with the charts. And now I'm 42 years old. Time has flew by. I remember when I just got into Bitcoin. Late 2016, 2017, I start trading these little altcoins. Then I find out about Bitcoin. I can't believe it. And I tell you, everyone, 4 years is going to go by faster than you ever realized. You know, this bull run, whatever you're waiting for, is going to come and go. And so you want to build trading skills that are going to last for the next 10 to 15 years. If you focus on a long-term trading idea, you're going to have the skills later on. But if you just focus on making gains today, fine. But you may not have skills later on. Like, you want to have a big picture idea for where you're going. My daughter made me a smoothie. Normally I never do that, but it is what it is. I had to indulge. So the monthly doesn't look too bad. All right? And we could weather the storm here. And again, I'm past all that. I'm crying about, look, I didn't get liquidated. You know, I had some unrealized losses in my altcoins that are already bouncing back. So not a big deal for me at all. No stress. I tethered up at the right time and I did it publicly. And people say, oh, you know, whatever you want. I'm just telling the truth. It may look like it's perfect, but it was. So here. You know, whatever happens in the week, I don't really care. We could just go sideways for the next 2 to 3 weeks and then start to break out somewhere in January. January 1st or 2nd, we start the bigger move to the upside. Could make sense to me. All right. Somebody said the problem with Bitcoin is you don't make much if you don't have much to put in. That's just not true. I'd make $500 off $800 all the time. You know what I mean? This morning, my trade was, I made $500 off of, look at this. This morning, I used, look, what's 62%? $500. So it was 1,000. It would be 50. So yeah, I used like $862 to make $532. 62x leverage. I just knew where to position myself and how to trade with risk. It was proper risk management. You know, I didn't have to use a lot. I used $800 to make $500. You do that 10 times, you've made $800 to make $5,000. I completely disagree. Your mind just has to be open to opportunity. You have to be the one to believe, and you got to be able to use the tools around you to survive. It's just, you already have the wrong mindset. We got to help you build a stronger mindset. Stronger mindset builds a stronger future. It's not the other way around. You don't just all of a sudden live in success and with a weak mind. A strong mind begins the build to a strong life. So here we are on the weekly time frame, which looks completely different, right? You can't really completely different than on the monthly. So the monthly is kind of holding us together. And this is what I see here on the weekly. And to me, you got to get a weekly close here back inside good graces, preferably above 115,500, 115,389. Like, we got to get a close up in here. Just what kind of has to happen. 3-day chart, you're looking for a bottom, you know, a tweezer bottom here of some type. And so far with the daily too as well. You can position, you know, we got the bounce, but the daily's got to be true. And then we zoom into the 8-hour, which is right on the 200 moving average, which is actually pretty bullish. You know, you close a candle above the 200, we could get ourselves a pretty nice move to the upside. And to me, this is a cup and handle, you see? Like, that is a cup. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is a bit of a handle. And we're showing signs of a reversal here for Bitcoin. You know, the turtle soup, the bigger version of turtle soup here, which we saw earlier this morning. And so that leads me back to this idea that we actually had projected before it even happened. And then I sold the local top. And you can't say I didn't. We did. And if you were in my group, I gave you right where to get in and right where to get out. And it was high risk on a Monday, but we already kind of sniped And so I'm looking for my known signal. When these moving averages get tight, they magnetize up to the price action likes to magnetize up to the 200 moving average. It happened right here when we were tight here. I called the move from 109, remember? The magnet up, then the flag, and then we magnet up to the 4, and then it continued to pump. And if you just got into on the cross of the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, boom. Same thing could happen pretty soon here for Bitcoin. So we're looking at this idea. So your bullish scenario is that we can go sideways here on the 1 hour, on the 15. Make this right shoulder that we've been kind of looking at and honing in on for a while now. And begin to build a way on out of here to the upside for Bitcoin, right? Not too shabby, right? In about 12 minutes, we started 10:10, it's 10:22. We've already given you more alpha than most channels. I'm telling you right now, we just brought you all the way from the monthly, all the way down to the 15-minute time frame. It's amazing. I never seen anybody do it in my life. I watched YouTube for years. Definitely not live. They did it prepared, maybe. We do this every single day, so jump on in. Get the best top-down analysis in the game for Bitcoin. Catch a live trade if possible. See what I'm looking at. And get some awesome insight from someone that just absolutely loves trading as much as you do. If you love trading, if you're obsessed, if you call yourself a trading lifer, a crypto lifer, then jump on in. We love you. We'd love to see you here on stream every single day, baby. You're amazing. We love you. We appreciate you. And we want to see you win. Yeah. Bitcoin hanging on that 1 minute 200 moving average. If we zoom into the very small time frame, we are battling the 200 moving average here on the 1 minute. We bounce above it, legendary bounce. We go below it, chop for the most of the next few hours. Can kind of tell you what's happening. I hope everyone can see that we are getting close to when we will have a big market correction. That's why we are starting to see nonsense and people getting wiped out. I mean, I think we already had a big market correction, though. So, and of course, the psychological place at 114,500 is a key area to be paying attention to crypto. Bitcoin's still looking interesting here with the bounce off the 200 moving average. And so I've got a trade flipped here on BTC.C. Off this bounce, see if we can get the bounce off the 200 and continue to the upside. Trade's actually a little bigger than I imagined. 1.2 BTC, 2,700 in at 50x leverage, which would be about a $134,000 trade. Getting the bounce here to the upside. Sorry, I'm on Tech 100. I need to be on BTC.C. But I think it's doing the exact same thing Bitcoin is doing. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Same idea, though. We're looking for the bounce. Look, see how Tech and Bitcoin they're bouncing on the exact same moving average? It's crazy, man. They run the same algo across the board. It don't matter. And so we'll see. Not a lot of risk. 369 for 1,400. And I'm trading BTC.C, one of the oldest exchanges in the game. Been around since like 2014. They're here to stay. I sat down with the CEO too, and the COO, people that run the entire spot, and the business development team out there in Singapore. Great people. Face-to-face meeting. They treated me wonderful. It was an amazing time. So, yeah, BTC.C. It's nice to put a face to the exchange. Losing the 200 moving average here, though. We'll see. There's a battle right now, and it's False Move Monday. Be careful trading on Monday. It's not my favorite day to trade. I usually don't put in a lot on Mondays. All right? You're not going to see me kind of doing backflips and acrobatics on Mondays sometimes. I mean, we already made a little gain this morning. Doesn't look like it's going my way right now, though. What did I just do with that? Interesting. I lost the window. I do that all the time. I'm like, where is my trading window? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. Not too shabby getting a bounce here. We'll see. Will I pull off a win on this crazy, legendary 1 minute bounce on a crazy false move Monday? Or will Sammy get beat down for 369? So close, so far away. Only time will tell here on the 1 minute time frame. Oh, they're coming for me fast and furiously. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. Oh, no. So my stop's right here at about 114.171. And here they come close and coming for me fast and furiously. They're coming. I know I shouldn't trade on Mondays. No. 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 I think it's a banking holiday. Yeah, it is too. Yeah, Columbus Day. It is. Yeah, my kids are off of school. Kids aren't at school today. It's a different type of day out here. 100%. Oh, look at that. They're going to clip me that fast. Oh my gosh. Saved by a wick. Look at this. Will I get saved here by a wick? It went to 182. I was at 171. Are you kidding me? How I don't get taken out, I'm likely going to, but what if I didn't? What if this actually rips back to the upside? That's one of those trades, if you get back to break even, you're like, I promise I won't get back in again today. I'll take my wins, you know. They're just retesting. Come on, can we get the bounce? Dude, we got the bounce. Save me from annihilation here. Come on, baby. Dude, that was crazy. Had I been just a touch above. And now we're ripping back to the upside. I need some fast, some smoothie juice. Okay. We're still in. We'll come back to this in a second. Let's take a look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency, but it's sloppy Joe Monday here for Bitcoin. And it's crazy. Let's take a look. It's the 30-second. No, the 5-second. Oh, no, it's likely we're going to lose that trade just because what I just saw by the moving averages. They just don't look amazing. And here they come for me yet again. How can I get so lucky for them to come back for more? Blow that thing. Blow it away. You just got to blow on the candle every once in a while. You give it a good little, you know. So here we go. No, it has not. What are you talking about? Who logged in on another device while I'm trading? Please don't do that ever again. Whoever did that in my team. Worst thing you could ever do. Please don't do that. My goodness. My goodness. The boss. Let's take a look here. Now I got to find a way in. Hold on 1 second here. 1, 2, 3. I got it. I'm back in. Oh, they got me. While that all happened, they got me. Can you believe that? Like, how shady was that? Got logged out and they sniped me. And now my account's at 66666.6. A bit odd, no? A bit odd. And they definitely sniped that thing down to the downside BTC. But that's okay. We're still up on the day. Everything's okay. Look at this thing. SWAT markets. Looks like it's in a flag, but it's probably a tiny market cap. Be very careful. I don't own any. So Bitcoin struggling to kind of stay inside the zone. And now to me, I would stay away from the small time frames. Like 5 minute, 1 minute, all that's kind of choppy today. I would just watch the 15 minute. Make sure the 15 minute stays above the 200 moving average. Remember, we're just looking for a shoulder, head, some type of right shoulder, high or low here, a bounce. So we can get further to the upside. Sorry, that was like the worst song I've ever heard in my life. It looks like it wants to hit again. I think everyone longed from there. We'll see. I'm not going to touch it right now. It's just Monday. No, don't go hard on Mondays. I learned my lesson there. See, every Monday, Mondays are tight. Okay. Blowing on the candle. I'm done. You got to, man. You got. Can you look at Zcash, please? Let's take a look at ZEC. It used to work, man. It's worked a few times. I don't know why it didn't work this time. Hey. Hey, Vincenzo over here. Pass. So can we get this over? You know, I don't know. That looks like it could right shoulder. For me, I would look at Zcash like this on the daily time frame and see how far it is for the 21-day moving average. Pull a fib and start saying, hey, it's got to come back down to the 618 or go sideways. Either one is cool, but I don't see a pump coming anytime soon. I mean, it went on a massive rally from 46 all the way up to 290. Unbelievable. Basically did a 6X, a little under a 6X. That's insane. Or it did a 6X. I mean, that's crazy. All right. Somebody says, in my humble opinion, this just confirms that the bull run is about to happen. They got to shake out the weak hands. Have fun with your spot portfolio. It's going to be epic. God bless you. Thank you, Victor. Hey, I'm holding spot, and I am still killing it. Holding it. God bless all the lifers. Smash that like button. Shout out to Underground Crypto in the house. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you, and we thank you so much for throwing down and being here every single day. Shout out to all the people that are still kicking. They tried to push us all out, but we still got 1,331 lifers on the live. Let's go, baby. Energy at its apogee. Let's go, baby. Boom. Let's go. Let's go. Did we get a bounce? Attempting some type of bullish divvy here. If we get back above the 200 moving average, remember, it's all about the 15-minute holding the 200 for me. That's all that matters right now. Zcash back to the 618 likely. You're looking at 172, 165 area, something like that. Shout out to Baby G, Morning Legend, thank you. Shout out to Simran Murchadi, God bless you. Mr. Sammy, check Dex, ARK. Oh yeah, ARK, I remember that now. Thank you for putting that on the radar. It's getting wallet integration, yeah. Interesting. I remember you, we got to pay attention to these dexes. So not out yet here on MEXC. Or maybe we have to just check it on MEX. Last time I looked at it on Gate, remember? It looked like it was going to bounce off that 786, and it did. Went from 0.3 up to, it did a 6X from when we looked at it down there at 0.3. I'm sure this is the same thing, right? I'll look at it on the DEX too as well. I don't know if that is ARK token. Yeah, I'm getting all the same market cap. Arbitrum, 5.6 million. Yeah, bounced off the low, same idea. I mean, high risk, high reward for sure. Very low market cap. I'd be looking for it to flag something like this. I might even just play a bigger DEX with better swing, but it all, I mean, Cake continues to do damage. I'll take a look at Cake. Cake's my baby. Pancake swap. Now, you remember, let me take you through a story. So I got into crypto 2016, and I wanted to stake. Someone was like, you should stake some Reef token for BNB. Or you could stake BNB for Reef. It was something like that, and I thought Reef could pump. So I staked BNB for Reef on the Binance, on Binance. You could do it on the actual, and then someone was like, why are you doing that there? You could make so much more Reef on Pancake Swap. And you should go over to Pancake. And so I remember sending my BNB to a MetaMask wallet. And I already had a MetaMask wallet because I had done Uniswap, right? And what happened was I was doing Uniswap. And I was doing a lot of TV, I was in there doing the DeFi. And the fees started going up. Next thing you know, I had to buy a coin and pay like $8. And then sometimes I did like quick things, like I'd make $20 every few hours or all over those days, and I'd swing the money around. And every time I did it, it was a fee, and the fee got higher and higher. Eventually, sometimes like it took like a third of the daily yield of depending when I started to grow a farm. And I was like, this is unsustainable. And then I saw that Pancake Swap was very similar to Uniswap. And I remember how big the Uni token got, and they gave it the airdrop and all that, right? And it went from like $3 to $24 and all this craziness, and it was crazy. And if you got in early, you got the airdrop. So I equated what Pancake Swap looked like Uniswap. And I was one of the first people to notice this, everybody. It wasn't obvious to a lot of people. And I started telling people that Pancake Swap was probably going to do something big. And it was 60 cents. I started paying attention. So I saw what was happening on another chain. I saw how it got too expensive. I looked for alternatives, and I was able to find an amazing investment opportunity when I got into Pancake Swap. And it changed my life. You know, it's just crazy. Right? And so Cake to me is just, you know, it's amazing what Cake could do. And it's got it's been around for so long. And I remember what Cake has never gone back to its bear market lows of those years. It was 60 cents. It's still up, right? Almost a 6x. From there at $3.43 right now. It did that spike at 456. I see it in this flag. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cake starts going back up because it has a use case and good utility. And it's a real project. It's been around a long time. So it's not just like, it's way different than everything else out here. It's an actual product that's been around a long time. And yes, I'm partial to Cake because I've known it for so long. But look, I mean, I'm just telling you about the history of cryptocurrency, right? I'm just laying down some groundwork for you. And so find out what Cake is. Find out more about Pancake Swap. Learn about the ecosystem. And again, I haven't been paid to do this. I don't know anyone on the Cake team. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just someone that knows the industry. And I'm just teaching you some stories. Now, the 3-day chart doesn't look amazing. Cake itself is a utility. It can go up and down with, you know, use case. But over time, I do see it headed to $7.70. All right. I do own a little bit of Cake, so I will, you know, I do own some Cake. We'll see what happens over time with Cake. Someone asked about ASTER. We kind of already went over ASTER, but I'll do it again kind of blind and just see what I see. I mean, it came up, had that high, and now you can kind of see it consolidating, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, it's technically in a bit of a zone. I could see it head to the top of the channel one more time, especially if Bitcoin can play ball. So like I was showing you guys right there, you've got this support or resistance level that you're kind of right at. We can raise it a little bit. And we got some support right there. So you're kind of in between this channel too. Be cool if it made something like this, like a flag, you see? I always look for flags. Flags give you confirmation of what's likely going to happen. You don't have to force it. You just trade a flag, you know? And so I look for this to consolidate. If you followed every move in the last 10 years and you went over 1,000 assets and you sat in a room by yourself and just charted every single move and backtested it, you would find flag after flag after flag, right? Sam, your channel is uplifting. I'm so grateful. God bless you, man. Shout out to Data D Blue Guy, man. We love you. Thank you for coming on in. Yeah, just be a part of something bigger than yourself and let yourself, you know, fly with high frequency. That's what I did with this channel, and it began to grow. And so I'm so blessed that everybody that responds positively to the channel. So I continue to stay positive. Like, there's no other reason. And continue to push every single day. Mondays are hard, right? You start your week, it's got to be hard. I do my hardest work on Monday. So it's like a kick butt morning, you know? I want the morning to really feel tough. So, Sam, you're the GOAT. Best streams in the game. Can you take a look at Linnea? For sure. Hey, good morning, guys. Sir, nice to see you. Hey, shout out to everyone spreading love, light, and positivity in the stream. God sees you, and God is blessing you every day when you're helping others stay positive. So yeah, I'd like to see ASTER stay inside a flag and then rip back up to $2. From there, we'll see what happens. Not the best market structure. It's a bit, you know, definitely a bit unique right now, but it's very early still, and it's finding its way. Bitcoin getting a bit of a bounce here, right? Is it not? Back into the good graces. Interesting. Back above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. So they sniped and brought it right back up. I like it. I just want to see it do damage here. You know what I would do on this account here is kind of what I was doing earlier today. It's just making a broad range call on a bigger time frame. I'll go 1,000 for 5. 122,765, right? Stop loss could be somewhere here. 112,685. I just, whenever I'm close to the 200 moving average, I know I'm getting the best odds of the trade. At 840 for 38, I like that. And now I'll just leave that trade cook all day, and you know, you just basically go for the fact that that's a higher low, and you're going to stay above the 200 moving average. Not every trade should be like 1,000 parameters for you. You shouldn't have to sit there for an hour and a half and figure everything out. You should just have proper risk management, feel out what you're doing, and make a trade. You know, it shouldn't be that difficult. All right? And we'll come back to that in a few hours of the trading group and take a look. Sam, do you see Render hit 40 cents on Friday? Let's take a look at Render and see what's happening to Render here. I mean, on these wicks, it's crazy, right? 51 cents on some wicks. I mean, people that, I don't know if anyone is able to get in, but these, you could get in at these prices, 234. And look, I mean, everything is recovering pretty nicely here. Let's take a look at Render on the big picture, though. It doesn't look amazing at all. That chart looks absolutely disgusting, right? I mean, it looks like just, oh, God. It's one of the worst charts I've ever seen. And I hold a big, it's like one of my biggest holdings, so I'm not just, you know, but that looks horrible. Let's be honest. But I believe Render is a real project that over time will continue to grow. But it just, wow, that looks messy. Almost looks like a descending triangle. At this point, you just have to pray that like Render gets carried by the rest of the market, and when we recover, Render recovers. Gets back to that $7 or something like that. We can, you know, possibly Adam and Eve this puppy. Quadruple bottom in a way. Not the worst, and it has been pumping on the smaller time frames, but dang. I think AVAX has done a terrible recovery. Let's take a look at AVAX. I mean, AVAX didn't have a lot of strength as it needed like the whole market to be bullish for it to even really have a big move. You see what I'm saying? So it sat on this flag, consolidated. We called that beautiful pump. It was above the 200, consolidated, nice pump. It hit the measured move. And this is what I'm showing you guys, this flag right here. And once it did that, it just, you know, it is what it was, what it was. So, you know, I mean, now it went back below the 200 moving average, struggling. I see what you're saying, though. Horrible recovery, right? It just looks... And this is what a lot of coins look like. They don't look amazing. You're not like, oh, my gosh. You know, I want to jump in right now. And you got to just deal with what it is. Like, again, you knew which coin... Like, this coin hasn't been hot in a long time. If it's bullish, it's going to consolidate something like this, though. You see? If Bitcoin can get its ish together and we could pull it all back around, these coins are going to follow suit and get a little bit of a bounce, get back sideways and pump out of here to 59. And that's just something that's likely going to happen here if we could just kind of, you know, if Bitcoin does not threaten to dump every 5 seconds. So only time will tell. We will see oversold here on the RSI. And with bullish divergence, you would expect some type of bounce. Once it gets above the 200 moving average, I would expect AVAX to pump through this. Whenever you get these crazy dumps this fast, you usually eat them right back up in a few days, many, many times over. And you'll get used to this. You'll see it over and over again. You'll start loving the dumps. They won't scare you as much. You'll be like, oh, this is a great time. Look at the fear and greed index. In the 20s was a perfect time to buy Bitcoin, right? Like buying Bitcoin in the 20s is like have to moments, okay? It is what it is. You do what you got to do, right? Look at that, getting back above the 200 moving average. So far, so good there. That's an inverted head and shoulder for Bitcoin. And it's very oversold in the 5-minute time frame as well. Week trade's already up a little bit. I'm not, you know. But we're looking for this to flag out and pump throughout the day. I like this 21 above the 200. Basically my signal right there. I'm just front running it a bit slightly, and it's a little sketchy on a Monday. You know, I don't know. Mondays don't always make me look so good, so we'll see if we can make it through on Monday. Shout out to my buddy Marcus, who's been with me for a long, long time, and he's learning trading. He's been doing it like 5 years now. He's like, you didn't tell me it was going to take this long. I said, to truly master it the way you want to master it, it is going to take some time. It just is what it is. It's not going to be easy. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, right? Gains, baby, gains. And shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here. My face looks like a bulldog right there in that. Sammy the Bull over here. Hey. But shout out to everyone following me on X.com. Thank you for the surge. We appreciate it. Shout out to James Wynn putting me out there. Took one of my tweets to 25,000. Bang, bang. Just my man. So shout out to everybody out there. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone that supports the crypto lifer no matter what. Us Irish folk need the warm tones. 100%, man. Amen. Bitcoin dumping, somebody says. 114,205. Yeah, it's just doing its thing on the smaller time frames. Just be careful. Tau is leading the recovery. Let's take a look at Tau. BitTensor was up bigger yesterday than almost any other coin. And honestly, look at from when I put this out I put this out somewhere here, like in June. I mean, this trade's still valid. It never got stopped out, even with the WIP, and it still looks like it's ready to pump. Like nothing has changed about my long-term Tau trade. Isn't that crazy? And things take forever. This could take 7 months to play out, right? To get that 2.5x, but it is what it is. So BitTensor looks exactly where it was, actually up from the entry after all the insanity. It's actually pumping pretty nicely compared to most charts, attempting to get back above that 3-day 200 moving average. If it gets in, look, it's above the daily 200. Wait for the 21 to catch up and some flag, and that thing could continue to rip. You can see how it's a bit of a sideways Adam and Eve. Shout out to Tom Crown of the house. God bless Tommy Crown, one of the real ones in the game. Appreciate you, Tommy. Thank you for always supporting me and being there, and then just being an awesome guy in the entire space. God bless you, Tommy. Did the world governments pay the electricity bill, though? Who knows? Nobody will know for sure. All right. I don't know what you're saying, but it doesn't matter. I got a whole list of BNB memes in case BNB does take off, which it looks like it might. You know, and kind of get itself back in action here. Oof, Yellow Pepe took a beat down, though. Yikes. Brave browser token doing damage for us. The BAT. Yeah, it's been a long... Funny, I was in the bat for years and years. Oh, wow. 14 back all the way up to 24 and then kind of wicking down. Hey, the 21 touched the 200 above the... See? If you just look for this over and over again and play it for the rest of your life, I mean, just the 21 touching above the 200. Boom, 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 boom. And then just play it what it is. Bitcoin looks like it is headed shoulder of the 5-minute time frame. Hey, I'm saying the next pandemic will be no electricity due to unpaid bills. Oof. Yikes. I don't know where that comes from, but hey, you never know. And we go back to Deep House. Go back to the regular scheduled song. Wow, that smoothie's good. My daughter made that smoothie. She's a smoothie pro. Okay, let's jump back into the chat and see what the chat is saying. I can learn from each and every one of you, too. That was crazy. Both of you and did the shout out at the same time. I don't know which shout out. I don't get it. Yeah, I'm saying the next pandemic, yeah. Tether cracking 116. You're funny. Any thoughts on fat? If there's any one thing Bitcoin needs, it's electricity. Columbus Day pink suit for the ladies. Bullish. Hey, today's Columbus Day, huh? I always remember a lot of my jobs didn't give me the day off, but sometimes I would just take it off anyway. Like it's Columbus Day. Would you go from render to Tau in the short term? That probably I don't know, man. I couldn't tell you what to do. I would never tell you what to do. You got to figure all that out for yourself. You know? Okay, Sam, your channel's uplifting. God bless you. Do you see render? Yes, I did. That's crazy. I think AVAX, yes, it did. Tori, God bless you. Love you, brother. I'm glad you're home. God bless. Thank you, man. Yeah, we made it back from Singapore. It's already been a week now. I've been home a week from Singapore. Feels like I just got home. But I was out of it. Talk about being out of it. Like, come home after being 12 hours off base in time. You definitely, and then being on a plane for 24 hours and in the airports and all that, I was definitely like a little, and I got a little bit of a sinus inflammation the night before I left. And I was in bad sorts. I was in a bit of bad sorts. So I've been looking, I want to swing trade GIGGLE big. And I just want to wait for the perfect time. I got in yesterday and it did this nice pump, but I got weak hands because I was going out for the day. And I was already up like 4 grand at one point. And I said, man, I take the 4 grand, I have a great day. Think about my logic, right? I get in, 2 hours later, I'm up 4 grand. I said, if I take 4 grand, I have a great day. I said, I see what else could happen. I could come back to 20 grand, but I could come back to nothing. And I said, I really want to enjoy myself on the beach with my family and my friends. I said, and I said to my buddy, I said, I should take the gain. He said, take the gain. Pay the trader, bro. That's what you teach. And so I took the gain. And luckily, it did come back down. I thought I was going to miss out on a bigger pump, but it, And so now I'm looking at Giggle like right here at 130. I got it at 140. This might be enough, as long as it stays above this 200. Now, it could easily dump in our face. You never know. It could go all the way down here, double bottom. We don't know. It might even stop hunt and then rip. I don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't, that's why it's trading. I take probabilities, but I'm definitely paying attention. And say it bounces and starts to get tight inside here. To me, that's going to be the low risk trade, or it bounces here and does a retest. That's going to be a low risk trade at 168. I'm honing in on 273. And I'm watching Giggle very, very closely. I'm going to put an alert here on Giggle, and it's going to be something I'm paying attention to throughout the day. May make a trade on it tonight around 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. tonight. I open most of my trades Monday afternoon, Monday night. I do not trade Monday usually during the day. It's very rare for me. But Sam, you have a trade open right now? I know. It's rare, but I have it open. I know. I can't stop, won't stop. Doing the do. Wow, 113.9. Bitcoin taking a beat down to the ground. And that's okay as long as it can stay above the 15-minute 200. It really doesn't matter what it does right now. Sloppy, jalopy, it does not matter. I would not trade the smaller time frames. They look like they're going to wreck people up and slip and slop them up around. So be careful. All right. Shout out to BitDNX. All right. They got 0 fees today on SEPA, I guess. It's pretty cool. So shout out to BitDNX. We appreciate them. Great exchange. Handled that little dip they had recently amazingly well. Now, there's been a lot of talk about what happened the last few days. Okay. And I've seen a lot of discussion about it on different platforms and different places. And I think it's it's definitely worth discussing and kind of dabbling. But no matter what, you're funny. Let's go, man. You're funny. Oh, I have to look. I haven't looked at the fantasy numbers if I won or not or anything happened. Crazy. Shout out to Weeks, man, for really putting me out there on their promo video. Super cool to see me right there. A lot of the shots in the video, they use me, man. I really appreciate that. Hey, I wore my best, man. Look my best for Weeks. And, just top notch. But I was looking for, Secretary. Oh, yeah, War Games. Funny. A lot of people basically said the manipulation was strange, right? Market orders were shut off. Liquidity was blasted right through levels, right? Nobody was able to buy the dip, right? The recovery was so fast. It was just, we saw coins, but then people still got liquidated, but they weren't able to buy the dip, right? It was like complete manipulation, and it's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, nobody had anything to say. Pretty crazy. They blamed it on the tariffs, but it was, I don't know. I'd probably be a little more pissed if I was liquidated. I tell everyone, man, I'm just in for quick in and outs. And it's very rare I'm in a leverage trade for more than a few days. Luckily, I was not caught underwater this time around. It could have happened. I have had some big trades open for long, 2-3 weeks at a time. And luckily, I was probably parking when it happened. You know what I mean? Like looking for parking and just parked. Was picking up the kid, getting stuff out of the trunk, walking over to a restaurant. And by the time we sat down and ordered food, I really am pretty good about attempting not to look at my phone when I'm out with family and friends. Like I had a friend visiting me, and I'm going to be on the phone the whole time. I find that rude. So I tend to stay away from it. When I'm out, I'm out. I'm enjoying myself. And, next thing you know, my boy's like, 105? And I think he's joking. I'm like, 105? That makes no sense. Right? So there does seem like there was some tomfoolery on the order books. Okay? And it is what it is. Right? Binance did compensate. It came out and said it was compensating, but to what extent? But when I did go to Binance, you can see, I just wanted to just kind of show you here their last tweet. On recent market volatility, the latest progress update on our protection measures, right? So they're talking about kind of what happened. A Euler holder airdrop. That's funny. All servers have been restored and are progressively returned to normal. We are confirming to monitor the situation and ensure operations. Due to heavy market operations on a high load, some users may experience intermittent delays or display issues. Yeah. So, I mean, they went down in the craziest dump in history. Kind of case, you know, the old man and the seed. That's pretty funny, I guess. But, you know, unfair, right? The market dumps. People can't take advantage of buying the dip. People can't get in and out of positions. Liquidations abound on the biggest exchange in the game. You know? We're aware of speculation in the market regarding the cause of this event, with some focusing on the role of Binance's platform. Binance has conducted a comprehensive review and can now confirm that during the event, the core futures and spot matching engines and API trading remained operational. According to data, the forced liquidation volume processed by Binance platform accounted for a relatively low proportion to the trading volume, indicating this volatility is mainly driven by overall market conditions. At the same time, the review confirmed that following some platform modules briefly experienced technical glitches, and certain assets had depegging issues due to sharp market fluctuations. Binance remains committed to addressing these issues responsibly and transparently. Crazy, right? Wow. In line with our focus principle, they've taken the following measures. Compensation for earned product depegs. We're aware of the claims of depegging certain Binance earned products relating to USDE, BN Sol, and wrapped BETH, causing the market crash. Therefore, we wish to clarify it was not the case. The extreme market downturn occurred before the depegging. Where the depegging impacted, some users had their positions liquidated due to holding their assets as collateral. Binance has taken responsibility and has fully covered their losses. Compensation has been distributed in 2 batches, totaling approximately 283 million USD. Users can refer to the announcement on this matter. We also aware the community has been discussing the extremely low prices observed in certain spot trading pairs. We understand the community and users' concerns, and Binance Term immediately initiated technical investigations, triggering historical limit orders due to one-sided liquidity. Historical limit orders, such as dating back years as far as 2019, and Atom had remained open on the platform. During extreme market sell-off and the lack of buying orders, sell orders continue to execute against these long-standing limit orders, pushing token prices to sharply drop momentarily. Yeah, like Atom at a penny. Crazy, right? Everything can be explained. It's all your fault. Is basically kind of how it boils down. I mean, but you lived through something historic, everybody here, even me. I mean, this was nuts. And yes, 19 billion, but remember, 19 billion in leveraged assets. So, you know, who knows in the real amount of money? Maybe $1 billion, because everybody was so leveraged up there at that time. So, I mean, they have even me. Look, I was so cautious 4 or 5 years ago. I never touched leverage. Even I trade leverage lightly now, and I do it responsibly. And I'm like one of the most responsible people in the game, as far as I'm concerned. I'm pretty light with it, and if I trade, so imagine what everyone else is doing. And I'm very, 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 you know, I'm very light about it. So other people are just like willy-nilly with their leverage trading all the way. It's insane. Crypto is too many exchanges. Unlike Wall Street, that's part of the business discrepancies between crypto exchanges, yeah. Coinbase has different prices for hours compared to Gemini. Yeah, I mean, I just had a bot running, and the bot, I had a bot running on Bybit. Let's take a look at the bot and see how the bot's doing right now. Let's check back in with the bot on the perpetual contract on Bybit and see how the bot's doing. Like to run the bot on the 15-minute time frame. That's when it really, I mean, look at the bot, though. It's been unbelievable. It bought here on the huge pump. It got out right there. I'll square it away for you for a second. It sold 1, 2, 3 positions. Okay. And then look, it buys here at 117.6. It sells the high there at 121 to $122. It gets back in there at 119, 120, 147. It sells the top there on that pump into 123, or 122.740. It gets back in there at 122.583, and it sells this pump and gets out at 124.979. Gets back in here at 123.350, and it sells that top of that pump exactly at 126.47 or 125.920. And now it's building a position. It gets in. And then we have the nasty dump. It buys 112. It buys 117. Right? And it buys this wick as it comes down right there at 112. And now it's looking to get out and to take profits. So its average price is there at 118 and to take profit at 126.41. Right? And all you need is this to consolidate and hit a leg up. One leg, consolidation, one leg, right? And it will be in the money. The bot has never lost its long-term trade. We'll see what happens. So far, it's been great. We'll take it one step, one day at a time. But the bot is doing damage, still in a trade right now, and I can't wait to show you when it gets out. It's doing damage, and I'm loving it. It's doing what it should be doing. And it liked to eat the wick up there in that massive dip as well. The bolt. See if on a smaller time frame it ate up any lower. Yeah, right there, look, I mean, buys the exact bottom there at 103.9. Look at that. Like, this thing is fearless. Buys 117 and buys the bottom there at 103.9. That's where it made about. I mean, that's insane. And we will see. We will see. So far, so good. One step at a time. So GIGGLE looking interesting. I kind of like GIGGLE here at 133. Getting tight, cup and handle, higher low, above the 200. You know, respecting this trend line too as well. And it's got, you know, it's got a lot of buzz with BNB. BNB's been looking good too as well. So we've went over a lot of coins already. And I want to see if there's anything else you guys are talking about, because I've been spewing off chart after chart today. Okay. I was willy-nilly and got hurt. Yeah. Exactly. Hi, Sam. What's the bot been making on average per week? I mean, I don't really check it per week because it's not really about that. It's about what happens during the moves, you know, and over time. It's up 30%. It's up 38% in a year. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sam was able to buy the dip with the bot. Yep. The bot did amazing. Hey. And I bought the dip too myself, you know, when I got home. Not amazingly, but I did, you know. Did the manipulation event shake your confidence in crypto? It was a bit weird, I'll be honest. The time it happened, at the time, when my buddy was like, we're at 105, and then I saw 98,000, and we weren't recovering, and I was sitting there at dinner, and I wasn't sure what was happening. I felt a bit strange for the first time in my life. You know, I always had so much faith in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and then I was just like, if they could just take Bitcoin and beat it up like a rag doll every 5 seconds, I started to wonder what was happening. I did. For a split second, I was like, this is it, you know? Yeah. Looks like bots can read the super wicks. I guess they move too fast. Yeah, I mean, the bot has no emotions, and it sees the same things over and over again. It takes advantage. It knows extreme positions. It just knows when things are extreme. It compares that move to all the other moves and, oh, this is extreme, and without a doubt, you know. Sam, shout out to Underground Crypto. Much love. God bless you. Shout out to That's Blues guy, man. God bless you. Say, can you look at form? Send in a super chat for TA and deep dive, everybody. Just does the right thing for the show, keeps it moving. All right. I will look at COAI. This one was on my radar with, you know, Token Metrics, Chain Opera. Took a bit of a beat down here, though. Let's see. You know, I put it out down here, remember, though, at about 371. This thing ripped all the way to like 30. It did a 10x or something all the way to $47. I mean, insane. I don't know how that happens overnight. Crazy move. Now kind of watching it here on the 15-minute time frame. I'd have to say it's attempting like an Adam and Eve double bottom here, right? Like that would be the Adam. It's curving, and you want to see it kind of start to bounce off this bottom. I don't own any of it. It doesn't matter to me what happens here. See where it goes, but whatever's, you know, it is what it is. Bitcoin getting a bounce. The trade's still actually not too shabby right now. Yeah, so Bitcoin getting a bounce right now. Look, on weeks. That's all we want. We want to just see this bounce. And again, that's a good place. The closer to the 200, usually is the best discount price. That's what I keep learning. It takes a lot of guts, but once you do it all the time, it doesn't take guts at all because you know it's just a better place to be getting in. Right near that 200 moving average. The closer, the better. I love it. That's the discount price, and I've learned that over time. But you'll figure that out on your own, too. If you just keep backtesting it and put in the work that I put in, it'll all make sense to you. And everyone will be back. Right now, we have light. You know, people just can't believe it. But they'll be back, man. Bitcoin starts to pump. This whole market will be back. And people are like, man, what was I thinking? Why did I wait so long to come back? Because they got, you know, when you get liquidated like that, it takes some time. There's a lot of people that are just, they're pissed. And they're just not ready yet. But you can see here, too, just look across the board. We have a lot of coins up 27%, 18%, 16%, 12%. Props, YGG. Tiny coins are making little tiny comebacks here. AVAX getting a bounce right back above that 200 on the daily would be nice as well. Let's take a look at the total market cap and see where we stand with total. And it's funny, remember I even said, you know, rising wedges could break down. So far, it looks like we did. Dang. But let's remove the moving averages and take a look at total in all its glory here on the monthly. So, I mean, we had a crazy liquidation, but I've seen that many times before a massive move. Look, big dump here, and then we come up out of it. Big dump here, and we come out of it. You know, it's almost like par for the course, especially for Bitcoin. It's so big of an asset, and so many people want to take a bite. It's like a dragon, or, you know, like a horse. It's got to shake off all the flies that are stuck to it before it goes for a gallop. Kind of how it works, right? It's interesting. And people that are just ill-positioned and don't understand how to trade and are gambling, they get flung around. People that have been doing this for a while and stay disciplined, they stay around, right? And they're able to ride the wave. So, hey, if you're not able to ride the wave and just observe this time, ask yourself what the people that are riding are doing differently than you, and adjust. That's all. Make things seem simple because they are. You know, people that have made tons of money, people that have done amazing things with their life, it usually wasn't a complex process. You think it was complex. The idea, they might have had a crazy idea that made them highly intelligent, but the operation, the execution was simple. It was A, B, C, right? Like, look at me. I go live. I show my trades, right? I go live every day. I show my trades. I show my ideas. I go over cryptocurrency. I show how my technical analysis plays out over time. I give, you know, super chats. We talk about it, and that's it. It's pretty simple, right? I do it every day. I entertain. I talk. We have a good time. And we find our way to win every single time, you know, if we can. So just like Bitcoin, you know, but to me this looks better because it's more on trend. You know, Bitcoin kind of fell out of the trend a little more. This is more stuck on trend. And to me, he says it could bounce right here and just continue. So I'm looking for the bounce, get tight. It also suggests, though, you don't start to break out somewhere until November 3rd. Looks like we got one more month, you know, 4 to 5 weeks more of sideways price action before things start to get really crazy. Five-day chart, too. And you're very oversold as well. Three-day and the daily. Seeing if the daily can bounce. I mean, to me, it's back inside the trend line, but again, sketchy, right? And it goes right to the same idea here that we're watching on this 15. It's like everything is waiting. Bitcoin bounces today. The whole market can kind of rejoice, shrug off the idea that we're going to go lower and find some higher lows, and it'll be great for the altcoins. Bitcoin slumps down, you know, it slumps down, this dumps down, and then everything kind of is back into sketch mode again, and everyone's wondering what's going to happen. So this little flag today changes the whole story. Morning glory, right? And nice bounce for Bitcoin. Look, we're back in good graces here. Only down 26. This was down $300 at one point, right? So it was very close. Started to wick down. You just got to have patience and believe in what you're doing. I've learned that so much about my trades. I just stick to them and believe in what I'm doing. You know, and over time, it prevails. Over time, it prevails. Everybody, keep the likes up. Tell how many people are here, man. Get this stream moving back to where it was. We had 100,000 subscribers. Sometime, I don't know what's going on, but we are ripping. giving awesome calls all the time for free. I worked all weekend long, did not stop. One of the hottest channels in the game. We are growing fast. Hit that like button, continue to contribute. I need each and every one of you to push through because we're organically growing. All right, we don't buy subs, we don't run ads, we don't do any of that. We organically grow every single day. I see other people growing, and it's a bit weird. They're like, oh, I got 5,000 subs yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. You get way less views than me. How is that possible? You know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know? I'm not going to be that dude, and I'm not going to grow, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to grow organically the way I'm supposed to. But I need each and every one of you to hit that like button. I need everybody to participate. This is a very hard road I've been on every single day. It was so tough to get to 100,000, and it will be continue as we continue to push every single day, every day. No days off. Remember that. No days off. It does not stop. BTC. So the total market cap, looking for that bounce, and so far it looks like we may be getting it. Today so far looks more promising now, so right where we're at. And remember, getting in near the 200 moving average, write that down for the rest of your life. Back test it. Remember what I told you. It's the discount. And look, now we're in the green. Trade is starting to flip back for us back into the green. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. What's happening to Bitcoin dominance? Very important. We take a look here at dominance and focus. Wow, so dominance had the huge spike to the upside, but then everyone was like, oh, no, I don't want to be in my altcoins like that, and Bitcoin like that. I'm going to dump. Pump and dump on Bitcoin dominance. Kind of crazy, right? But it makes sense with the move. And what it looks to me like people were just ready for alt season. It's just taking forever because if it's going to be that big, it's going to take a long time to load. If it's small, it's just going to load up quickly. But if it's going to be really big, it's going to take a load. Look at that. So a little more spike up, probably a rounded top. We don't get back above 61.6, and then we continue further down to the 200 here on the weekly. So I'm projecting dumpage for Bitcoin dominance. And let's take a look at Tether dominance as well. I mean, we were looking at this. We were like, we can't break out and make the flag. It attempted to, but now it's kind of slumping again. Yeah, we want to see rejection and go back inside the pattern. Just kind of what we were looking at. So look, like here, you see Tether dominance bounce and start. So if Tether dominance bounces and starts a flag, that's not a great sign. Like that means there could be some trouble in the market. Bitcoin may be going back to 105. But it kind of creeps back and starts going back down. We're in good shape. So we really want to watch this. We don't want to see this flag continue. I want to see this break back down below the channel for Tether dominance. So, you know, right now we're in indecision. Could go somewhat either way here. Wow, we're back on the bottom of this beautiful flag. 15-minute could show signs of consolidation above the 200 and ripski. And it could take some time until like 6 o'clock tonight, 6:30, 8, you know, at 8:15, 8:30. The time will be right for us to boom, boom, boom. And you can see we're in chop right now, sideways price action. It's Monday. Market's figuring out what it wants to do. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and the NASDAQ. So I told you not to stress S&P. I told you it's going to bounce and make a flag here. And so far it is. And I see it doing the same thing, flagging out and eventually continuing to pump. It did the same thing here on this dump. If you go back in time, I called it. Everybody said we were going lower. Everyone said that was a big correction. Everyone said we were dumping. I said, look for us to make the flag and continue to the upside. That's exactly what we did. And we're right there again at the exact same place. Fear not. Sammy's got you. My TA is spot on. We're very likely with positive, probability pumping, going sideways, and then headed to 71 and 7,270 for the S&P. We take a look at the NASDAQ, and it's doing something very similar. I predict a bounce here for the NASDAQ as we go sideways, it continuing all the way up to 26,920 for the NASDAQ. So that also looks bodacious to me. I like what I'm seeing there for the NASDAQ. It's all kind of getting ready and gearing up. So we looked at Bitcoin dominance just now. We looked at Tether dominance. Also take a look at gander at gold. Then we'll look at silver as well. Hi-ho gold at $4,000 an ounce. And we called $4,000 an ounce a long time ago. It's a bull flag. You get in right here, stop loss below there. You ride it to the upside. Gold, baby gold. Who knew gold was going to produce so much, such a good trade? better than Bitcoin. It wasn't volatile. There was no, wasn't that crazy price action for gold. It just kind of stayed steady. I see it making a flag and continued higher. I actually would extend this. And the way they print money, I mean, it's on now. $4,800 an ounce for gold. I mean, your watch is going up. Anything that you bought is going up in value insanely. It's like, run and get that gold Daytona. Run and get, people are going to, things that are worth gold they're going to get priced out. Another 25% going up. Like this watch, more expensive. This necklace, everything I own in gold going up in value immediately too, like as fast as humanly possible. Crazy. Wow. It's just hitting me now, like the opportunity that's out here. Silver getting that huge spike. And didn't silver got that spike before we got that dump in Bitcoin? Interesting, right? It almost foreshadowed something big was happening. Isn't that interesting? And then I talked about silver making this flag and likely going parabolic. And look, it's setting up for a parabolic move. That would actually extend this measured move for silver somewhere up to here at $55 an ounce. I've been buying silver for a long time. To see my silver triple in value since I bought in at like $15, $16, $18, $19. Wow. All my silver is worth a lot more money than it was just a few months back. Silver just ripping. And silver breaking out. It's already up $1.63 today. I mean, these are big moves for silver, up 3.2% on the day in 24 hours. I see silver headed to $55.85 an ounce. That's crazy. Who here was a silver bug like me, buying silver before you knew big Bitcoin was? Copper's up 7%. Sam is the man. He taught me how to, and now I can. Hey, God bless you, Boom Fat. Cycle trends repeat, next cycle low. I don't know about that. Yeah, Bitcoin doing what it should do, staying inside this pattern. I'm looking for it to consolidate and pump. It's going to take time. Looks like until 6 o'clock tonight. So it's not, we got some sideways price action to deal with right now. Let's take a look at BookMap. See what BookMap is saying. Link in the description of BookMap. I do get a commission if you sign up to BookMap. I appreciate it. It's small, but it's decent. So here's the deal. There's a lot of liquidity below us. It still says we could go to 103.4, but there's nice liquidity up to 123.4. What is happening? Is this the remnants of the longs? I believe it could be. And they may disappear as we continue to pump higher and people take profits on the board here. But it does say to watch 108.9, and we may not be done with the dump yet. So we got to be careful today. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm watching the 15-minute to tell me. The 50-minute shows higher probability I'll take it, but it could lose the 200 and continue to dump. We don't know. Nothing is guaranteed here in trading. It's one step, one moment at a time. All right? So yeah, most people aren't going to dial in too. They're going to let this time pass. And this is when you really want to dig in. When most people are wiped out, when most people aren't paying attention, opportunity. Much love and respect for you, Sammy. Smash the likes for people this free. Alpha, God bless you, man. Thank you. Hey, Mr. Sam, the bottom over 30%. Just dominant hands holding Bitcoin or since funding the bot? Thanks all. No, since funding the bot. The bot's been trading and doing its thing. Yeah. And on top of Bitcoin going up, it's made 130% with the Bitcoin win. Like it's up huge. All right. Sin up. He says 200% in 2 days. Let's take a look at Sin. Is that on Kraken? I don't know if this is the same one we're looking at though. Synapse. I mean, it came from the bottoms at 4 cents to bounce. So, maybe. It's in a flag now above the 200 moving average on the 15. That's beautiful. It looks like it's following Bitcoin. Bitcoin breaks out the flag, so will Sin. You see how the whole market is really kind of hanging on what Bitcoin does? Yeah, my 50-cent silver pieces are $20 each. It's crazy. XR, please. Let's take a look at XR, please. XRP. See the exact same structure. XRP needs to break out of the 15-minute flag. See, I didn't even look how it looked exactly like Synapse. They're exactly everything is following the Bitcoin playbook right now. right? That's what they do. They crash the market to get everything in sync so they can get the altcoins where they want them. It's like I've seen this so many times. What they'll do is they'll erase months of price action to be able to nestle right in where they want. Like it's like almost a deal they make with some exchange. Hey, you got to give me this price. You give me this price and I'll do this and this for the market. I don't know, you know, a market maker. I don't know how they figure this out. But it's definitely some backroom deal. I'm looking for us to bounce back. Look, shoulder, head, possible right shoulder, get tight. And then possibly break out here the length of this bigger pole. The leg would take XRP all the way up to about $6.27. I hold XRP. Let's see. I would love it. That wick was crazy, though, to 128. Sent SNX. Oh, yes. Maybe you wrote. Interesting. Oh, synthetics is crazy, too. Yeah. Look at synthetics just absolutely ripping from, after the dip. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, synthetics is a DEX, right? And it's been around a long time. And I got into synthetics 4 to 5 years ago on the idea that it was going to be like, you know, an awesome DEX, right? And something interesting that we could, you know, and it was going to have derivatives connected to the stock market. It was good. You know, it was the first like tokenized idea back in the day when no one was else really talking about it. And a lot of businessmen like synthetics is the one, like it's got the connections and the business. And then it just never did anything. Now out of nowhere, it's ripping. I'd look for the 4 hour to come back and connect though. Wouldn't be able to jump in right now on SNX. Your shit is bomb and your watch is fat. You're looking mighty bomb fat. Hey, God bless you, boom fat. If that's what that means. Is that Korean when you're saying boom fat? I don't know. I feel rude. I don't want to be rude. I'm so sorry. You know. Someone said Bitcoin dominance might be a little down. We're all right. We're battling back and forth today. All right. Oh no. Oh no. Monthly active addresses up 50x year over year all across the board. I mean, that's good to know. And Bitcoin is more active than ever. Hash rate was the highest it ever hit just a few weeks back. I mean, it's strong. You know, it's like they try to like, you know, when you look at the bigger picture and see what's happening, it's almost like impossible not to see the future at this point. And they use price action to distract you from what's actually happening. Right? Shout out to Calvin Kaspar. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. Shout out to Storytime with Drew. Shout out to Damas J. And everybody out here. Darkpool Data Dog. Shout out to Trav DeSav. Shout out to Boomer Frank Gonzalez and Jennifer Mofat. And thank you to all the super chats. Let's make sure we got to each and every one of those today. We have Kim Jong-un. Greetings. You inspire me. Doge thoughts. Let's take a look at Doge, man. Smash that like button. Then we looked at ARK. Someone said the channel was uplifting from Dat the Blues guy. Thank you. That's the Blues guy. And Render, we went over that for Aaron Judge. Ace, we went over AVAX. For my man Ace Supersonic. Tori with the thumbs up. Vincenzo, I'm glad you're home. God bless you. Shout out to Underground Crypto. We said, yeah. Kurt, we did Sin, XRP, and Synthetics. And we said hi to Calvin Kaspar. So we really nailed it. Make sure we shouted everyone out here that gave on the channel. We appreciate you, or became a member, whatever they did. We appreciate you. And let's take a look at the top fans. Ace Supersonic number 1, Kurt Shore number 2, that's the Blues guy, Aaron Judge, Joey Livid, Vincenzo Underground Crypto, and Joey B, Oran, and Drew Down are the top 10. Runners up, Crypto Reggae, Joe B, and Juan Hernandez. We thank you so much. It's very nice of you to keep the show alive like that and be so interactive with the show. We need interaction with the show for the show to be fun. All right? It's not easy to talk for 2 hours every single day and to keep it moving. But with your energy and the way you guys bounce off the channel, we're able to do it together. But, you know, I need each and every one of you every single day, baby, to bring that heat, to bring that fire, to bring that energy so I can keep pushing every single day. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We create the energy. We create the movement. We don't wait for everyone else to tell us what's hot. We create what's hot. You know, we start the trends. That's how it rock. That's how we go, man. We set the trend. We don't wait for other people to tell us what's hot. We set the trends. Nice, man. CoinMarketCap reaching out. God bless them. I'd love to work with them in some way, shape, or form. Been using it for years. A staple in the industry. Someone asked about Alice. Big cup and handle on Alice, they say. Yes and no. I don't know. I wouldn't say so. Looks sloppy to me. I mean, your very bottoms. Either the whole market has to come back or it's not coming. You know what I mean? It's like, and you think this is the cup and that's the handle. I don't know, man. I wouldn't call that a cup and handle. No. Definitely not. I don't see it. Maybe on a smaller time frame. Possibly here, you know, when I wouldn't even, to me, you don't need a cup and handle. You're just flagging out on the 50. It's the same flag on the 50. Everything is flagging on the 15. You got to get, if Bitcoin pumps, so it's like you could open up tons of trades today on the idea that Bitcoin's going to make it happen. And either you get wrecked or you get paid. It's one of those days. But if Bitcoin can hold and stay above that 200 on the 15 and pump, then everything can pump on the 15. And Alice can get to 67. Nice move there on the 45. I don't see a cup and handle. I don't know if you're talking about this. I don't know where. I don't see a cup and handle. This is, I don't know. I just don't see it. Very sloppy. That's like a dagger in like sideways price action above the 200. That's more like Diddy and baby oil. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Sam wearing pink for Alice TA is perfect because Alice is also pink. Thank you, man. I appreciate your wonderful comment, I guess. Let's take a look at the XDC network as somebody threw it out there. XDC. I mean, everything was in the dumps after this dump. They were making higher lows. They were looking nice until they weren't. You know, for me, it'd be like this. I would just have these out, and you got to get back inside. This breaks back up, hangs out, then we could trade it right here like we were supposed to. And it just business as usual. But it doesn't get back inside. It struggles. It doesn't get the liquidity, and maybe this was just enough to send it down. Coins that were garbage won't recover. Coins that were goodwill, it's just kind of how that works. Next decade on the stock market. Text next. Next decade corporation on the NASI. Yeah, someone asked us about it recently, and I said, you know, it broke back inside. I'd look for it to go sideways and continue to pump. I like where it's at. Just make sure it holds a higher low and continues sideways. It looks like it won't pump, though, until, I don't know, it might take some time. It might take February, June. Might go real sideways for a while, but that could be the low buy. The bigger target, it does look like it there August of 27, though, to 17. We're looking at it, but I don't know. I wouldn't touch it. But you do whatever makes you happy. Let's take a look at Mara, as a lot of these miners were doing great. And honestly, Mara's actually in a pretty good spot. Back at 20 and getting very tight. And finally, it looks like the miners have finally allocated enough Bitcoin. They're finally in position, and now they're making serious profit. Whatever happened, Mara seems like it's in position to finally go up again, back at least to these highs every time it's done this. And you can see it's in a giant double bottom. If you remember, we got into Mara back at $8. I bought a little more at 15. We're in the money now, almost a 3x. And I bought in on Webull. I'll show my Webull account at one point. Webull, baby, Webull. But Mara, baby, Mara. Yeah, I mean, I see it just going sideways, too, for the next few days. I just like Mara to go sideways here. And then start to break out there in December. Get that big pump as Bitcoin goes crazy. And honestly, we hit 30 again. I don't see how I'm going to hold past 30. I'm going to get out. I had 3 chances to 4x my money. I might as well take the 4th one. And even now, I'm in the money for Mara. And I'm in long-term money, too. So, you know, short-term capital gains. We've been holding that thing for a long. We got in down here, if you remember, on the cup and handle, $7.52, $8 area as it started to rip back to the upside. We've been in ever since. Somewhere back there in November of 2023. I've been holding this Mara position for a long, long time. Oh yeah, and big news today. Michael Saylor buys 220 Bitcoin amid the crypto market dip. But it's funny. It says amid the dip, but he didn't buy the dip. Let me tell you why. It's funny. This is how you know news, amid the dip. No, he paid $123,000 for them. So it's so funny. But look, Strategy, formerly Micro, the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, is back with another big buy. The Bitcoin-focused firm led by Michael Saylor has expanded its Bitcoin holdings once again, even as the crypto market faced heavy turbulence. It adds 220 Bitcoin to its treasury. It's purchased an additional 220 Bitcoin for approximately $27.2 million at the average price of $123,561 per coin during the recent market dip. I mean, that wasn't the dip. The dip was 112,000, 108,000, 103,000, right? They paid 123. So funny. Amid the dip. It just seems so facetious to say that. But hey, they bought so much. Now they hold 250,000 Bitcoin. Purchased at an average price of $74,000. Unbelievable. And they've achieved a Bitcoin yield of 25.9% year to date on billions and billions of dollars. I mean, it's insane. And they sold shares of TRF, Standard, and Strike, raising 9.8 million, 5.8 million, and 1.7 respectively. And then the proceeds were used to fund the company's latest. So they sell their shares, buy the stock, pump the stock by buying Bitcoin, sell the shares to buy Bitcoin. Crazy. Marathon, leading the Bitcoin miner, purchased 400 Bitcoin worth 46 through Falcon X, adding to its steadily growing treasury. So Marathon continues to buy Bitcoin too as well. Purchased 400 more Bitcoin. And so there's still a frenzy behind the scenes, and Bitcoin is getting more and more scarce on the order books more than ever. This crazy move may have been just for a whale to try to snatch prices. It might have been, a fight for what this actually could have been the biggest. Let me explain something. What just happened usually isn't what you think. It represents what people think, but it can be different. So what I mean is, this is a foreshadowing of scarcity. It could have been a whale that needed Bitcoin so bad, they manipulated the prices to the point of no return just to be able to get cheaper Bitcoin. Liquidate as many people as they can and move forward. As crazy as it sounds, it tells you something's going on when they get that desperate to buy Bitcoin. And you see Bitcoin kind of stabilizing. It's interesting. Someone asked about XCL. We'll take a look at XCL. I don't really much like it. It's a new coin out there. Someone's obsessed about it here. We'll take a look. X-Seller. I can't say I don't like it, but and maybe it makes us some big gains. So we'll see. It just came out on MEXC not too long ago, and it's super high risk, and it is making somewhat of a flag. I'm pretty sure we knew about this member before it was on MEXC. We saw it on Dex Screener. So I'd look for it to get tight. There's a chance it heads to 2 cents. And you know about it early, and it's on it just hit centralized exchanges like on Friday. So, hey, to me, that's high risk, high reward. Yeah. Traders who use Bitcoin as collateral on their positions had their Bitcoin confiscated. Think about that. It just disappeared, right? Like it's just like gone. Poof. And it's gone. Crazy. Yeah, get an education, man. I use an education to make gains. I was with my buddy. He's visiting me. I show him how I'm making like $4,000 on a Sunday morning while we're smoking cigars. And it sounds braggy. It sounds horrible, right? But like I never lived a life. I never thought that would happen to me. I dreamed of an awesome life, but not that awesome. Right? Oh yeah, raw all day, baby. But so, I'm just excited to see how many people I can help before I leave this earth. That's all. That's the point. I have the time and the energy now to help others. I'm not so bogged down by my own life. I can look out around me and say, who could I help? Who could I, who do I see struggling around me? How can I share the wealth of my life with them? And that's the special moments that you realize that God's given you something amazing. It's not the money. It's not the wealth. It's the ability to see others have a moment to take a breath and say, wow, I'm in a pretty good spot. What can I do for somebody else? If the whole world was like that, how beautiful of a place it would be. All right. So I'm looking for XCL to bounce, actually. It looks okay. Somewhat promising. It's brand new, and it looks like it could be consolidating pretty nicely. I think it's worth putting an alert on. So I'd add this to your watch list and put an alert on it. Watch list or alerts are the same, because then you can hit your alerts all here, and they're all going to be in a list. So alerts kind of create a watch list for you. It's a great way to do a double movement. I like something that, you do once and it creates two actionable events. So this could be a nice scalp today or tomorrow, something to pay attention to see where it could go. People who use USDE, Ethena, stablecoin as collateral fully wiped out. It got depegged to 65 ENA, possibly a good buy. TRB, and thank you for the grind. Remember when TRB had that huge pump that day? Not too long from now. And just so you know, Bitcoin's at 114,003. We're still inside this trade, just watching this play out here over time. We're down $75 inside the trade here on weeks, hugging the stop loss below the 250 minute. And I could say it to them red in the face. We're just seeing if this flag can play out and we can stay above the 15-minute 200. If not, so be it. I get stopped out and I come back at it again at another time. It's not that serious. It's a very simple way to trade. I'm not reinventing the wheel. It is what it is. TRB is in the same flag on the 1 hour, the 15. And if Bitcoin can come out of this, so can this. And the whole market can kind of get busy. And it's the same thing I just talked about for almost every single super chat that got sent our way. And it's just relentless, right? That says we're going to pump. 21 looks nice. Again, this is above the 200 moving average. So everything says we're going to get a move. Like that says you could trade it with a stop below the 200. It all depends on Bitcoin. So I trade Bitcoin with the levy. I think it's less risky than trading altcoins with the, you know what I mean? But you do whatever makes you happy. I'm still holding Solana, but you got to ask yourself if it's a good hold. That's a question for you. If you can't answer that, I don't know what to tell you. But you got to be able to answer those questions for yourself. Okay? Very important. Something, unfortunately, is about to happen. You're funny. Black Tuesday. A suspicious whale is shorting again. Uh-oh. Hey. You never know. If you live by fear like that, then, you know, hey, anything can happen. We had a crash, moving on. That's life, 100%. It's like, you know, weeks from now, nobody will care. We'll be right back to kind of where we started, which is crazy. Look at Kindly MD, NAKA. Oof. This thing took a beat down. Someone says Black Tuesday. I don't know why you guys are, man, wow. People are, yikes. You're projecting into Black Tuesday already. I mean, if you project it, it will happen. If you force it on your mind, and you will get it. You know, 4 is the funny coin that's falling, you know, when he put out 4, when he only got 4 years. I mean, I'd watch it right now. It could flag out and consolidate. I want to see it consolidate and continue. It's in a nice little uptrend. You see that? Multiple higher lows in a row. Yeah, what happened to NAKA, man? Dang. Kindly MD? Jesus. Jeez Louise. I mean, I don't want to use the Lord's name in vain. Jeez, that's amazing. I can't believe that. And so sorry, dear Lord. Your suit is fire, man. Thank you so much for saying that. God bless you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we get the pink shirt with the lines, right? We got the pink tie, which you can only buy. Vineyard Vine tie made this specifically for the Vineyard Haven Yacht Club. Can't buy this tie anywhere. It's like an exclusive tie. Kind of crazy. When you receive the gift of ability, you feel compelled and obligated to pass it forward and share it with others. 100%. When you know that you're able to produce, you want to continue to help others all the time. If you can. If you have the will and the power to do so, which I believe we all do. You know. Shout out to a beautiful week of trading too. Absolutely wonderful. I'll take it to the bank. And I had one of my best weeks of trading despite what happened. I feel rude saying that, but it was awesome. Like, we had a lot of awesome sauce go on, and I learned a lot this week. I found a lot about myself. I found other ways to trade too. Just a big day, man. And today was light. Last night was light. You know, a lot of people didn't trade like we did yesterday. We took advantage. The monthly structure is very pampish, but the weekly structure suggests a further deep pullback for a fire pamp. I don't know about that. I think they both look similar. I just want to see how this 4-hour and the 15-minute really fend off the bears today. To me, that's going to be the big deal. ZORA, we talked about it. It did break out. And actually, if anything can break and be hot, ZORA looks pretty interesting. And I like this flag that it's starting to form here. Again, look for that to hold trend. This is trend. When I say that, this is the trend line. Bounce, bounce. Look for that for the hold trend line and bounce. That's looking pretty nice to me, ZORA. Right? And I can see that thing do some serious damage to the upside. It's getting tighter and tighter and then break through those two zones. I'm looking for 18.5 for ZORA. I somehow ended up making profit on this crash. I always head short my spot position with half of my spot value. That's crazy. ASIC Australia Legal Enforcer gave the first stablecoin license to Markport. Stablecoin named Autumn in Australia. What is the purpose of using stablecoin compared? I have no idea. I would not touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, you're probably spot on right there. Okay. Amazing day. Amazing day to be alive. Same, I had my biggest trade ever on the entered 121 and sold 1049. Luckily, I saw the crash. That's crazy. So you did get to sell. So people see, I'm always under the impression like nobody got to get out or in. And so some people did. Some people actually made gains on the move. They were able to make it happen. That's pretty good. I'm happy to hear that. Right? Wow, big days, man. I look for ZORA to bounce here. ZORA was just a hot coin that we were playing months ago that had this huge run up. All the way from like 7, not even a penny, all the way to 14 cents. Then it took a nasty dump, but now it kind of seems like it's coming back for a vengeance, and I just want to see it consolidate beautifully for its next big pump. So wow, we identified a lot of coins today that look interesting. And remember, if you missed any of this, it's all time-stamped. And I put it out to the group. And it's all about understanding how to use alerts and adding alerts when you can. You're not going to remember the whole market all the time. You got to add alerts as you kind of go through the zones. I did not get liquidated on the crash. No, I did not. Luckily. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, Jelly was on my radar before this whole dump. We were looking at it. It pumped huge on the 1st of October. Now look, it's in a bit of a bull flag on the daily coming back to the 21. And it bounced off of a Fibonacci. Look at this. 786, 886. If anything could bounce, Jelly. Back to 14 cent. We could see Jelly do some serious damage. For sure. Jelly. I sold in literally less than 2 minutes later. The market dumped. I didn't do any reason that it was later in the day, and I just wanted to take my profits for the day. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, hey, when you do the right thing over and over again, man, you get taken care of like that. And it just, you could say you're lucky, you could say this and that, but you really were just doing what you're, doing your thing, right? Arrow dumped at 23. What a wreckage. But on Coinbase, it only dumped to 70 cents. I know. I got auto leverage on ASTER, shorting ASTER. It closed my position and got lucky as well. When I woke up, price had returned back above. So technically made an extra 250. Hey, God bless you, man. Hey, I could tell a lot of the lifers didn't get liquidated. So God bless us all. I'm super happy, man. Actually got rid of all the zero fee coins on all the dump. I mean, yeah. It makes sense, right? They're like giving trades away, man. Hey, nobody else does that. I take advantage of it anytime you can. And you got zero fees. There's nothing like winning the trade and winning the whole trade and not having to share a piece of those fees. So, not strange when you're aware of what they're doing, yeah. My BitTinex crash, he said, Donald Trump and Bitcoin are the same color. He's definitely Satoshi. You're funny. Spot is king. Spot is king, man. I got liquidated on a green candle. How was that possible? Right? schedule your live stream to switch to members only. So in 5 minutes, this will switch to members only. Watch this. In 1 minute, this stream will switch to members only. Watch this. This is crazy. A special experience. All right, in 5 minutes, this will switch to members only. Like, this is so cool. Is that true? Wow, so this stream will switch to members only in 5 minutes. If you're not a member, I'm going to give some sauce too. I'm going to show you guys the pi cycle chart and do something I haven't done in a while. I'm going to dangle some alpha there and make this a fun show. I've never done this. Sam, you dress well, you speak well, and help us. You are awesome. God bless you, man. Thank you. Hey, I just want to make this stream impeccable in every way, shape, and form. That's all. I want to make sure that we hit the numbers that we should hit and we make people happy. And hey, we're still in the trade. Everything's looking good to me. Whenever you're near the 250 minute, there could be a beautiful way to, I mean, it just can be really special. I've been backtesting it for years, so people don't realize how special of a moment this really could be. It could be the perfect high or low buy that ricochets us off to the upside and does something absolutely amazing. Now, yeah, watching the stream with some raw lamb brains and some raw lamb brains. Interesting. Wow. Eating lamb brains raw. Interesting. That sounds... no, I'm just... But it doesn't sound amazing, I have to be honest. I don't know about eating raw brain. I'm not there yet. The raw milk's cool, but the raw brain, I'm just not there yet. All right. What's your advice for people who want to become a crypto influencer? Main takeaway from watching you months now is consistency. How did you start? I don't want anyone else to become a crypto influencer. All right, we have enough. You should just learn and get rich from me and go off into the sunset. I'm just... No, but there's just so many people out there, and it does saturate the game, and there's a lot of people that have no idea what they're talking about, and they just want to run their mouth. You could be under my tutelage for 5 to 6 years, and then you could begin to trade and learn how to trade for a living, and actually have something to give, right? Yeah. A lot of people wonder why their channel's not growing, what's happening, or why they're just kind of subpar compared to the rest of the markets, because they don't have a skill. You can just middleman stuff and talk about coins. I mean, a lot of people do that. But do you have a skill? All right. Be an auspicious whale, not a suspicious whale. That's so funny. Just eat raw sushi, somebody says. I shorted the dub, but never would have expected the massive move. I believe we definitely have so much light to come from this. Sam, you're a lion, dog. True inspiration. God bless you, man. Wow. Can't get it from here in Lebanon. What, the raw brain? Yeah, just, follow your heart and be consistent. You just follow your heart and be consistent. I don't know what else to say. There's really no other way to make it in this game but to follow your heart and be consistent. That's what I would say. 122,261. I like this entry here. And we're hugging. $112,396. Wow. I'm just kind of doubling down here on this trade. Looking for more. And now it's a $100,000 trade. Why not? I just have been sitting pretty for so long. Looking pretty nice. Let's take a look at Zcash. And I would expect it to do something. I want to see it bounce here too and get inside of a flag. Again, people feel like they have to buy the bottoms. I just buy the consolidation. Fine. You missed this little move, but you cut off so much risk. But it's up to you. You'll figure this out over time if you do the math. Yeah. Sam, can you talk about staking? Are you staking AOIZ? I probably should. Not at the moment, but I probably should. I'm staking a bunch of different stuff. But I keep that on the side sometimes because it's little security issues of how much I'm staking and where, Bitcoin back to 114,006. I like what I'm seeing. We've been basically ranging between 114.2 and 114.6 the entire stream. Sideways. It's been back and forth for Bitcoin. I'm thinking of adding a trade here on KKEX. Why not? Same kind of idea here. Just whenever you're near this 200 moving average, I've seen just such a beautiful, right? And we could just get somewhere back up to 119, 120, stop loss below the range. And there's a chance this could pay out. And 114.5 is also psychological. So I'm looking at this too. It's a bit of a cup and handle too there. All right. Someone says, can you take a look at Aerodrome, please? We will. All right. And look, it's 4 seconds to member stream. 2 seconds. 1 second. And this is now a member-only stream. Pretty crazy, right? How fast that happens.